Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just an update. We are working on the YJ LS swap Jeep today. We've got the motor here. We've got the 350 turbo. We're going to be joining those two together, and doing a little bit of fitment into the Jeep to see how everything lines up. So let's get this thing started. So what are we doing?
We're putting this 5.3 in the 89 YJ. And we've got these killer Novak adapters, so they're pretty much bolt-on, and they tell you it's supposed to be 29.1/8 from the front cross member or something like that. So I have it all marked up in the Jeep already, but we're gonna put the motor together with the turbo 350 and set it in there, and hopefully with that measurement we won't have any clearance issues. That measurement's made for the stock trans that comes in that Jeep, so we're gonna make sure the turbo 350 fits, and then after that we're gonna weld her up and have the front motor mounts done, and maybe get to the cross member today, but that might be in another video, so stay tuned.
While he's getting this all set up, I think we got the bolts for it, right?
I think.
Oh, those will work.
I think what we're gonna do is go through the eyelet on that. Yeah, we're going through. I think we're gonna do that.
Yeah,
That's what I did last time. Then it's less. I feel like it's less sketchy. It doesn't want to come off. So
yeah. And over here we have the turbo 350. We'll roll this bad boy out.
Turbo 350 from Gasratz garage. He came over one day and just gave it to us. So.
Yes, right. Yeah, our good boy William at Gasratz Garage had this lying around, so he donated it to this project.
Yeah.
So we're pretty stoked about that.
And then we got a 2400 B&M torque converter on there.
Yeah.
So with that torque converter, it should lock up kind of at the right time. I think the cam that we put in here recommends a 2700 stall. But for $100, we can pass this one up. We'll give it a shot. If it works, it works. If not, then we'll swap it out.
So some of you guys probably haven't seen. If you look right behind Blake there's the Subaru.
The $800 Subaru.
Forester. So this dude bought the Forester for $800 because it had a little dent in the front. The light wasn't. It's kind of. I guess it was a little minor accident, and there was some oil leaking from the transmission.
Yeah.
The dude had the transmission service. The knuckleheads forgot to tighten up the filter, so it was leaking. But we didn't tell the owners that we bought it from. But this thing, we've had this for 3 or 4 years. This thing rocks, dude.
It's got 250,000 miles on it.
Yeah, super clean.
It's not, and the previous owner paid for a rebuilt trans, so
that's awesome.
We saved some money.
Anyway, we just had to call that out. That's one of our daily drivers. It's our bucket, but it works for $800. Can't beat that.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah. So the one thing we did find out in doing this whole conversion with the 350 and the LS is, as far as mounting on the bolts, it usually calls out for 6 of them.
Would be one more here or here.
Yeah, so we don't use those because that would pierce the water jacket. So, yeah. Carry on. I think we're good.
2 different pieces.
You know what I think we should do? Let's put this thing in.
Yeah. Finally.
Let's jack this bad boy up. That tail end's gonna dip a little bit, but
let me uncover the masterpiece behind us.
What masterpiece?
That masterpiece. The 89
Oh.
Islander.
Oh, uncover it. All right, so let's move this thing back. If you want to take off the parking brake.
Yeah.
I think there's a parking brake on the front too.
Yeah.
They're so stupid.
I don't think we have a parking brake.
Let's release the parking brake and we'll roll this thing back.
It was a manual before and it still didn't have parking brake.
God, this thing is light.
It's amazing when you take 1,000 pounds out of the car what it does.
We might have to go pretty far back. Yeah? Or is that?
Well, I think a little bit more to get that hook in there.
There you go.
Oh,
All right, well,
she's so dirty. I haven't seen
I know. This thing is filthy,
Look
dude.
at that thing.
Well, let's see inside. There we go. Good job.
So those are the motor mounts cut off completely.
So you got the motor mounts out. We've got it all ground out. We got our measurement where the motor mount should land. But
In theory.
in theory, yeah, if everything measures right. So let's we'll roll this thing out and see what happens. Yeah, it is.
Well, 4K is good.
So far things are looking good. As you can see, we're getting in there. We're gonna have to yank off one of the motor mounts. We thought we can get it in, set it on there, but we'll have to drop it down a little bit and kind of finagle it. So
Just got some silly brake lines in the way.
we don't need those.
One mount is wider than the other.
One mount is wider than the other.
This is the driver's side mount.
Look at us reading instructions. That's kind of actually a good call out. We never do that. Anyway, so it's in.
Check that out. Look at the difference.
Let me see. Oh yeah, good to know. Eyeballing it, you'd never know, but. So what side does that one go on?
The wider is on the driver's side, so it'll be like this. I
Okay.
think these will go right like that. Get that bolt lined up.
Yeah.
And set them.
I say let's bolt it on now, and then we can kind of
Yeah, get a good
drop it the next 6 inches on both sides. And get that in there. Yeah, that'll be nice because now we can back down and it'll sit right on top of the frame. That looks good.
The only reason you can't get it in the other way is because of the shock tower.
The little bitty shock tower, and we just didn't feel like rupturing brake lines.
So I think we're gonna need to go.
Yeah, we gotta come over to the right a little bit.
Maybe I can crank this side up a little bit too. It's kind of leaning one way.
Yeah, that's the thing. The whole motor is on an angle.
Which way's right?
So one of the cool parts about doing this whole thing is when you have help come over, right?
Oh yeah.
Look who came over. Little Abby in her Gasratz shirt. And that's my Pop's G-Paw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, loving the support.
The more rats you have, the better you are.
Oh, say it again?
The more rats you have, the better off you are.
I like that. That's good. That could be our new slogan. Anyway, let's continue on. All right, so we got it in. Right now we're sitting on the frame with this Novak motor mount. This was our original measurement where the front of this should be. But we're gonna measure this like 15 more times to make sure this is right. It feels like the whole motor itself is sitting really far back, because right now you can see the front pulley is just about where the axle is. Then you have the radiator will be here, and then electric fan. So that's like almost a whole foot of space. That a little concerning, but so he's gonna jack up the rear end here, and then we'll take some more measurements on this little on the mount here. All right, so we got it in. I think we've got it positioned right where we want it. As you can see, we got our measurement there. It's sitting really nice in the bay here. We've got a lot of space in the front, so the radiator will end up right here. Actually, the radiator is going to be a little bit further up here. So we got plenty of room. So we are going to tack weld these in, and then we'll end up pulling the motor out, finishing off the welds. So Blake is getting everything set up for the welder, and we'll see what happens. All right, so here's where we're at. We got it in. You got the motor mounts tacked in. Blake's doing a good job welding those up. We pulled the motor out. We have a little help from our friend here, Abby. So we got the motor out again, which is normal. We'll walk around him here. How's it going, Blake?
It's good. We're fighting some welder issues,
That's all right.
but I think we got it squared away.
So we're not claiming to be expert welders, but
No, not by.
we got it in. He's gonna do both sides, get that all dialed in. We'll use a flap wheel, make it kind of pretty. Probably put a little paint on it, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna work on the transmission cross member in a little bit here. But so far so good. I
Yeah.
think things are coming out.
We're just fighting some wire feeding issues.
I do have to give kudos to the Novak. Novak, right?
What? Oh,
Novak?
no, yeah, adapters.
The Novak adapters. Those things are money. Those actually, they fabricate it well.
It saves you so much
They
time.
fit in, so yeah, it saves us a ton of time. So I'll let you get to it. Hey Dad, what do you think of your grandson? So what do you think of your grandson in this whole mess, the whole project?
It's pretty amazing that he would take on such a daunting project with very little experience at it and do a good job.
And very little money?
And very little money, almost no money. This is definitely a Gasratz budget job.
Low budget.
Low budget project. He's done something that I've always thought was a great thing to know. He's learned how to weld.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing.
I'm telling you, you couldn't do half this job if you didn't know how to weld.
Without it.
Yeah,
And
having good
that's-
equipment all makes a big difference.
And that's coming from my pops, the Renaissance man, so that says a lot. See the kid over there working. So this is the after it's been in. We got them welded in. We got them painted. Don't be hating on our welds. Actually, yeah, you can leave us the comments on the welds. Like I said, we're far from welders, but it's in. So they're looking pretty good. Both mounts are in there. Now it's time to go in for the second time.
Second time.
All right, so we got it in. We got it mounted on the new motor mounts up front. We have to work on figuring out this transmission cross member here. So that's next. We'll probably see if we can tackle that today, or at least drop them some ideas. And then maybe by the end of the day, we'll have a jack stand sitting under here holding this up. So. But you can see, motor mount looks pretty good. Again, shout out to Novak for
Novak conversions
for the fabbed up motor mounts already, which made this so much easier. But underneath here, a lot of clearance. Yeah, it looks good, right, Blake?
I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah. So far, so good. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's it for today, at least. We're gonna take a little break. We've got things to do tonight, but super stoked that the motor's in.
It's in.
What do you think?
Well, it's in for a second, and then we gotta take it back out, put the flywheel,
Yeah.
the torque converter.
Well, not bad. We only put it in twice today.
Yeah,
In
went
and out a couple times.
Put the mount, tacked them, took it
Yeah.
out, welded it.
Yeah.
Now we need to make up a cross member, but it's not gonna be too hard.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
So super stoked again. The LS is in the YJ, so we're getting there.
It is sitting very far back too, so it's gonna have some good weight distribution.
Yeah, and we do have a little bit of good news. Should we share it now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, go grab it.
Okay.
So anyway, with this project, we had a huge sponsor come through, and they're hooking us up with a brand new radiator. So we'll swing this around. Actually, there it is. So here it is. Let's show you guys. So huge shout out to Griffin Radiator. Check this thing out.
It's pimp to the T, man.
It's what?
Pimp to the T.
Pimp to the T.
It's so sick. So it's gonna have the cooling fan, thermostat, everything it needs to kick on, and all the wiring for it. This is a direct bolt-in for a Jeep YJ. It's we'll put the part number on screen right now, but it's a direct bolt-in, so it's gonna bolt right to the grill once we put it back on. It's got everything you need. It's head to toe fit. So the only thing that we're gonna have to address is the water pump. It's gonna exit on this side for the LS. So we'll figure that out. But
Yeah, this thing is sweet. We have this in the Meteor. Again, we love this thing. They hooked this up with the whole entire kit. It's got the fan. There's also the wiring, the whole wiring harness and all that good stuff. So again, huge shout out to Griffin. Thank you guys so much. And let's put it in there. Let's see.
Can't wait to see this.
The only pretty piece of, look at that.
We'll go there. There's a power steering pump in the way now.
Look at that.
It's gonna be pretty sweet.
So huge shout out to Griffin Radiator, because that's like the sweet hookup. That thing's gonna keep this thing cool, no problem. Huge shout out to them. Huge shout out to Tom for letting me borrow his welder for this one. And like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think about our welds, because they look perfect.